Now, stop me if you have heard this one before. Once upon a while ago, there was a fisherman's puppet, carefully made by hand. The puppet lived a simple life inside a model lighthouse, with everything in its place. And every day began the same way when he brushed his wooden teeth. Well, if you don't think wooden teeth need brushing, you've never had a cavity and a splinter at the same time. Next, he'd put a log inside his little stove to warm things up. Nice and warm, safe from the storm. Next, he would take his duster and carefully dust his lucky seashell over there on the shelf. There. The shell reminded him of the sea when it was calm. Next, the fisherman would open wide his window to check the weather. A quiet sea tonight. Finally, and most important, every day he would work on his latest model. There, in the center of the room, a perfect model of his own little lighthouse, exact in every detail. It was nearly finished too. Only 2 pieces needed to be added to the replica. The little model... Yes! Good. Now, the final touch. A tiny puppet of himself to put inside. There. Tired out from his routine, the fisherman will rest his aching wooden bones in his own rocking chair and go to sleep. And dream of models. Safe inside, where the smell of paint and glue was always fresh, where the world was simple and snapped together, the puppet would follow his routine, brush his wooden teeth, dust his lucky shell, and work on his model. Worlds within worlds, walls within walls, closing out the storm so it could never reach inside. Until one night, something changed.
Has begun and stocks are looking thin again this year. We all know there's a big catch waiting out there somewhere, but hold your hauling lines. Reports are saying a huge storm is blowing in. It might be nothing, but better safe than salvage, I always say. Coming up next, another hour of thrilling nautical news after these messages.
Every morning, the fisherman's puppet awoke inside his model lighthouse with everything in its place. And he began his day the same way. Except this morning, something felt different. Mon Dieu, the window had been boarded up. The fisherman didn't remember doing that. Even when the storm came, he was safe in here. But no 2 silly planks of wood were going to get between him and his routine. This would do. What was it Papa used to say? Use the right tool for the right job. Nearly there. What was this feeling? The fisherman hadn't felt like this for a long time. At last, The smell of the ocean. But outside, not the sea. He couldn't believe his wooden eyes. Outside the room was another room, a replica room. And standing in it, a huge but very familiar figure of a fisherman. And he knew that if that huge figure were to turn, its face would be very familiar. Sacre bleu! If this was what lay outside, then what was inside his own little model lighthouse, in the model of his own room? The fisherman hardly... It was all there inside the model, exact in every detail. But the tiny version of himself, it was moving. He was inside the model, he was outside the model, and just who was pulling all the strings? Of course, as below, so above. When he lifted the tiny anchor, the large one was lifted by his giant self.
It's just in, dear listeners, a general alert to all lighthouses. In spite of all of our thrilling up-to-the-minute warnings, a lone boat has gone out into the storm. Lighthouse keepers, make sure your lights are shining bright. I repeat, a lone boat has gone out into the storm.
The lighthouse. The path was clear. Zut! The door was locked. He must have put the key somewhere last time he left this room. Now, when was that? And then, my friends, the strangest thing happened. Inside this room where he knew every cranny and nook, an unfamiliar voice said,
Hey, you! Yes, you, the scruffy-looking puppet! Yeah, you with the strings, over here, on the shelf. Are you cracked in the cockle? Why did you move the anchor? Why? Why did you take the roof off?
The fisherman, he felt, well, his lucky shell had just started talking to him, and very rudely too, so he did not feel so great.
You test me every day and you thought I just had nothing to say? I'm an hermit crab, Sonny, and you might not appreciate a nice quiet hiding spot, but I do. Now, shh.
And what are we hiding from?
I'm hiding from the storm. Why do you think I stole the key?
The key? The key? Where is it?
Oh, fiddler crab sticks.
The fisherman took a deep breath. Oh, hermit crab, craftiest of all crustaceans, I must get to the top of the lighthouse. Those sailors out there may be looking for us. We must be brave.
Brave? Brave? If you can't find me my hat, I will be the captain, of course. And the captain needs his hat, and a life preserver, just in case. Then, just this once, we will be brave.
Well,
so, you found everything? Well, if a little wooden puppet like you can do this, then I will be brave. Now, just let me get out of this damn shell. Phew. Breezy. Almost. Got it. That will do. All right, let's do this. I'll help. Farewell, shipmate. I won't forget what you did for me. Your captain salutes you.
he wouldn't need to find his way up.
Now, let's see. Where did I leave the key? I was holding the key while I was repairing my shell. Then I had a sudden itch, and then blast it.
with you through the night, fish fans, and remember, no...
The biggest fish Papa ever caught. The fisherman had spent all his life trying to learn a catch as big as...
Well, don't you look like a drink of water?
It was still alive. This went against everything he had learned. He had to get the fish some water. There. Now the water would flow. Success. Too much success. Water flooded into the mother. Quick, hold your breath. The water closed over him, and the memories came flooding back. The coldness, the darkness, the ocean tossing and turning him like a rag doll. But wait a minute. Puppets can't drown. No, a bit of water wouldn't stop this fisher.
Oh, water everywhere. But is there anything to eat? I'm hungry.
It seemed Papa had forgotten to feed his stuffed
Is there
fish.
food out here? Food.
Who are you, oh noble fish? And do you know how to reach the top of the lighthouse? The fisherman asked.
I'm a big-eyed tuna. My eyes are even bigger than my stomach. And if you want to go upstairs, my little amuse-bouche, well, you'll have to feed me first.
There must be food out here.
Nothing? I'll starve. Any second now, I shall succumb to hunger. If only you find me some food.
They smelled vintage, but a stuffed fish could hardly be picky. Bon appetit, you greedy guppy.
Good, but I need more. Bigger. These are just appetizers.
Sure, that.
Of course. A bone? A fish bone? It's stuck in my throat.
What next? It seemed the fish had choked on its own appetite. And also a fish bone. He had to climb inside the mouse. The fisherman was afraid. How many of this fish's family? Now, there was the bone of contention.
Thank you, fisherman. I could not get enough, you know. I wanted more, always, like an obsession. But you, Legoland walkers, we don't know anything about that. Of course, you have everything, don't you?
Well, what could the puppet say to that?
Now, I must repay you. The key to the tower door is outside. I saw a huge figure hide it near the mirror a long time ago.
Outside?
I'm certain it was around here.
Needed to find the key. Time to get back to the lighthouse. Thank you for helping me, the fisherman said.
Of course, you helped me see that there is more to life than the largest morsel. Sometimes a smaller morsel is sweeter, juicier, and more delectable. Just little morsel. Thank you for setting me free. I hope you reach the top of the tower.
The door opened. The lighthouse tower waited. The fisherman had begun to think that he had all the answers, but he would soon realize he had bitten off maybe more than he could chew.
Come in, trawler. Come in, trawler. If you can hear us, return to port immediately. I repeat, return to port immediately.
Vas-y, tiens le coup. Vas-y.
Papa's old study. This was where the fisherman had learned to make models, sitting at Papa's knee, listening to Papa's gruff, scratchy voice telling, "I have been watching, and I'm not impressed." Papa? The painting, the old painting of his father, the great fisherman, it was talking.
Quiet, I'm talking.
My only child, my flesh and blood. You could have been as great a sailor as me, or my father before me. Ah, Papa, that you had lived to see this day. Papa, said the puppet, I must light the lighthouse lamp. A ship is in peril. My own son, a mere lamp lighter, a landlubber. Nonsense. All you need is a boat and a strong net. Show you're a true sea dog and sail out there. It looked like there were 5 pieces missing. The cabin, the deck, the rear winch, and 2 halves of the hull.
So it's come to this.
Fool, where did you leave the left part of the hull? Maybe you're good for something. Keep going. The controls of the old lighthouse crane were there, on the balcony. The huge half-flooded room surrounded him, and below, he could see the tiny replica of the room. Besides, Papa had given him an order, and a true sailor always obeys the skipper. You won't get far with Alpha Boat. Where is the next part? Fool, where did you leave the left part of the hull? Nearly there. Who am I kidding? You never finish anything. Your mother would be sad to see this day. Not me, of course. I was always a very supportive parent. Keep going, boy. I will make something of you yet. Graft. I'm writing that down. There. That's a good, honest vessel. Well, what are you waiting for? All aboard! Now buck it at the pontoon. Then we'll see who's too big for his father's boat. A ship in harbor is safe, but it belongs in the... Can't you do anything right? Let this be a lesson to you. Even great sailors like me can let the battery run out. Well, find another battery. Cast off! East by northeast! Full steam! Look at you. You look almost like a real sailor. If I squint. Thanks, Mama.
Good morning, Fisherman. Fishing season has begun and stocks are looking thin again this year. We all know there's a big catch waiting out there somewhere, but hold your hauling lines. Reports are saying a huge storm is blowing in.
The storm approaches. That's when the fish come easily, my son.
Coming up next, another hour of thrilling nautical news after these
The
messages.
fish are waiting. Activate the winch. Drop the nets. In the art of the storm, this is where nature hides its beauties. They are waiting for us.
Come in, trawler. Come in, trawler. If you can hear us, return to port immediately. I repeat, return to port immediately.
Don't forget, boy! Come back with a hold full of fish, or don't come back at all!
Hey, son!
Yes! All done, son. All done. We have got guts, boy. I will give you that. Go then, if you must. Climb the tower, light the lamp, save any other poor souls who are sailing out there, driven on by the disappointed fathers. I only wanted you. Here we go. At last, time to turn on the light. Outside, the storm raged. It seems the rules of the replica had been completely disrupted. Inside the lighthouse, little versions of the puppet were reflected back at him, getting ever smaller. And there was only one match left to turn on the lighthouse. Was there anybody out there in the storm? Who knows? But for now, at least, he had one job. He was a lighthouse keeper. Now, if he could only find the match... A match. Now something to strike it on. If he lit the small lamps inside the model as well. I love that sound. The 3 lamps were lit, but there was nowhere near enough light. Perhaps his little friends inside the model could help out. Now, carefully, the next level down. There were little lamps inside the model. How could he light them? Yes. Et voilà. Let there be light. Farewell, mon fils. I can rest now, knowing my obsession did not drag you down with me.
Goodbye, little morsel.
Bon voyage, shipmate.
Outside, not the storm. A room, bare, but familiar. He could use the handle in the ceiling to move the light and look around. But where was he? Mon Dieu, was that beard, that face? He was awake. Hey, hey, the puppet cried. I'm in here. I've been in here all this time. I'm in here. What time is it? What a mess. You know, I think I've been in here long enough. I think I need to see the sea. How long has it been? Well, no matter. Encore the way.
The skies are clearing, fish fans. We've weathered another storm. Fisherman, enough mending your nets. Time to earn your keep. And to all you lighthouse keepers out there, I think you deserve a holiday.